Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing a review of Wonder Woman Sacrifice. This is the second volume of Tom King's Wonder Woman run, which I really enjoyed the first volume. I know this volume has been contentious with people for the most part, and I do have some thoughts on the second volume, but on a whole, I still like this series. I still enjoy it. Like I said, I will always call a spade, especially when it comes to like Tom King, but I genuinely like a lot of his work. The one thing that does worry me is that the longer this series goes, the more I'm concerned, because he's not, like, we've seen what he is on when he's on a book too long. Looking at you, Batman run. No, I will always defend those first 4 volumes. I will defend those for like from I Am Gotham to the War of Jokes and Riddles. I will defend those first 4 volumes. Everything after that is contentious and really bad. Going from, alright, I can see where you're going, to, oh, that's bad, to, ooh. And also Heroes in Crisis, which I don't fault Tom fully. He had an idea and he wanted to do it, but Dan DiDio stuck his big ugly dick in it. So I can't fully blame him for that one, but it didn't exactly pan out. But I do want to read Human Target. Like I said, Chris did send me, like he sent this book. Thank you once again, brother. He sent me Volume 1 of Danger Street. I'm not reading it because I want to wait to get Volume 2, because God knows if I forget anything from Volume 1 when I read Volume 2, I'm gonna be lost. That's the thing with Tom King's writing. You gotta get locked in. Anyway, so here we go with Wonder Woman Volume 2, Sacrifice. So, to catch up everyone, because it has been a while since I did a review of the comics, the U.S. government is at war with the Amazons because of a murder that occurred out in, I think, Arizona, and now this man named Sarge Steele has been part of a task force to hunt down Amazons, and then Diana discovers the real villain of this story, the Sovereign, the secret king of America. And of course, this comic is all being told from the Sovereign years later to Diana's daughter, basically talking about how she came to be. This book follows up after the last issue, the previous story arc, where Diana was captured and is now being tortured by the Sovereign. This also follows 2 different stories, one being the second half of Sovereign trying to break Diana to the Absolute Power tie-in. Yeah, I'll get to that in a bit. But the first issue, this comes out with a banger of like, almost like a Black Mirror kind of episode where the Sovereign uses his lasso of lies to try to break Diana mentally to be a loving housewife while quoting all these horrible Bible verses to her. It's really depressing, and it's also... this comic is hard to read considering the political climate, shall we say. It's not for the faint... It was a pain to get through that, in a good way, like getting through it and seeing Diana overcome it. The next issue deals with Diana basically building a whole life with Steve in her head while she's 2 months in solitary confinement, and then the next issue is her battling Cheetah on a wayward island, but really it's her saving Barbara, because I really like how Tom King talks about like Barbara and Diana's relationship as enemies, because he's like, yeah, everyone knows how Joker and Batman are, or Superman and Lex Luthor, but Cheetah and Wonder Woman are vastly different, and they have a more complex relationship than you would think with Lex and Clark or Bruce and Joker. It's very much it's a really cool story. I really enjoyed that, and it really does kind of give a little credence to a lot of stuff, especially like Greg Rucka's work in Wonder Woman. So the first half is really good. I really enjoy this. Then we come to the Absolute Power tie-ins. Now, I will give credit that I do appreciate that Tom wants to be a team player. Like, I will never take that away from him. He clearly wants to be a team player when it comes to these books. But I don't think he should have done tie-ins. I really don't think he should have done tie-ins to Absolute Power. I think he should have just continued on, but... he wanted to be like, no, I want to be part of the universe. You know, this is an ongoing, and yeah. So the three, The next 3 issues are tie-ins to Absolute Power, and the first one deals with her, with Diana and Justice League Dark battling one of Waller's Amazos, and I immediately call shenanigans because it's like, oh, it can take the power... okay, taking the powers of Shazam and Mary Marvel, okay, I can see that. It's done... Amazo did that before. An Amazo did that before. But the Spectre? Are you kidding me? It takes out the Spectre? The most powerful being in the DC universe, or one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe, the Hand of God, I call the utmost shenanigans, Tom. So that one, I was like, okay, I don't like that one. And also, for some goddamn reason, it's quoting Charles Dickens, in apparently, according to Detective Chimp, the voice of Batman. I haven't read Absolute Power, so I don't know if that ties in anything, or it's just Tom King being Tom King. I don't know. The next 2 issues are a team-up between Diana and Damian, which I really like that dynamic, in order to find Waller's secret prison to rescue a wayward prisoner, that being Steve Trevor. And they have to get help from Captain Boomerang, which, again, I call the utmost of shenanigans again, because I'm like, they keep saying like Harkness was the closest to Waller, and I'm like, I could tell you, like, if it was Deadshot, I'd believe it, or Flag, maybe even Harley. Like, you could have just gone to Harley Quinn. Like, you really could have just gone to Harley Quinn. She'd probably be easier to find, and also more than willing to work with you. But but Captain Boomerang? I mean, yeah, he's an original Suicide Squad member, but he is not the right guy to do this. And it's a whole story about love and fear. About which works better, because Wonder Woman's all about being the good cop, and of course Damian's being the bad cop. And how the story ends is very Captain Boomerang. I don't know how else to say it. And of course the 3rd issue is them doing the breakout on Gamora Island. The tie-ins, yeah, you shouldn't have done tie-ins, Tom, because those were pretty weak, and I will say the first half of this comic is stronger than the second half. I still enjoy this series and can't wait for Volume 3. I'm very excited to see the continuation of the story. But as it stands, that was a little drop-off right there, being a part of the tie-ins, because it really feels like the comic just... also, like, I don't know what it is, but he just does... I don't know if he knows how to write Damian. Because it just feels like we take all the character development with Damian that we've had in other comics just kind of like doesn't exist here. But I digress. I still like this comic. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like the tie-in issue shouldn't have been a thing. Like, this should have just continued on with the story. But what? And I know Volume 3. I can't wait to read Volume 3 regardless. So was this a bit of a bump in the road? I hope so, but as I've said before, I always have that worry that if how long until Tom King can't do the shtick no more? That's my thing. But as it stands, I still like this comic, and I can't wait for Volume 3. Once again, I'd like to thank my good friend Chris for sending me this book, and others. Thank you once again, bro. And yeah, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of Tom King's second volume of Wonder Woman? Do you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.